Lexical ambiguity,
Structural ambiguity.
Then
Neologisms.
neologism, new words arises that will create idioms that will have different meanings. Okay, that actual meaning, burning midnight oil. I cannot take. I am burning an oil in the midnight. That is not correct. Actually, it is an idiom. It shows some other meaning at the back. Okay, it is showing something. It is indicating something. Then non-standard use of English. Yes or no? See
Yes.
you. Will text you later. 8. All this small you are using a non-standard, it's not a proper English words. Okay, shortcut words you are using, no, that all will be making your NLP. These are some issues which making your NLP hard. Okay, so today's class, can you all able to see the screen, students?
Yes.
Yes, we'll start. So today's class, last class we had discussed with NLP, why NLP hard, what makes NLP hard, like some of them are ambiguity in the language, non-standard use of English idioms that makes NLP hard, we have discussed. So today's class we will be talking about, we will be taking some real text corpus. Okay, corpus means some data set. Don't think that what is corpus, some text. Okay, some data set, some paragraphs, some pages of text we'll be taking it. Okay, so today's we'll be taking some real text corpus and we'll be studying some simple empirical laws that will be universal for the language. Okay, there are some laws that is universal for our language. So you'll be taking the text corpus and we'll be studying the universal law that is applicable for the natural language. Okay, so in a language, if you take, in language there are many words are available. Okay, there are many words are available. So we generally they are classifying the words as differentiate between functional words and content words. Generally they are classifying the words in the language as function words or and content words. So anyone, can you tell me what will be the function words and what will be the content words? In a language we'll be having many words are available. So those words are classified into generally two categories. One category comes as a functional words, another category comes as a content words. So what are all the words comes under function words in English language? What will be the functional words? See, if you take a sentence is a collection of
Words.
Sentence is a collection of words. So these words in an English language, generally they are categorized into two categories. One is a function words and content words. So can you think and tell me what can be the function words and what words can be the content words in a sentence? You take one sentence and tell me what words can be the function words and what words can be the content words.
Function words could be something like he, she pronouns, maybe, or something like prepositions like.
Very good. Pronouns, prepositions, determiners, articles, preposition, all these comes under
function words.
Function words. What can be a content words in a sentence? A sentence is a collection of words. So we will be that words we are categorizing into two categories. Some words comes under function words, some words comes under content words. What will be the content words?
Maybe like they help you complete the sentence. Like maybe you could have a noun, or maybe you could have.
Very good. Verb. Various nouns and verbs which convey the concept for the given sentence. Yes, a sentence will convey some concepts, right? That concept, the main important word that we call it as a content words. Okay, so we'll see the difference between the functional words and content words. So what is a functional word? Functional word is used to make the sentence grammatical. Okay, have a little lexical meaning but serves as an important element for the structure of it is mainly used for the structuring of the sentence. Okay, so used to make the sentence grammatical. Things like and, their pronouns, all determiners, and their, all these comes under functional words. If you take a content words as a name in the content, it is mainly concentrating on the main content present in the given sentence. That is various nouns and verbs which mainly conveys the concept, all called as the content words. Okay, it is mainly used for the, wait, I will take an example. Okay, so function words is for the structure of the sentence, right? So in this example, what are all the function words? Can you tell me which are all the function words? Tom Sawyer lives with his Aunt Polly and his half brother Sid. So what are all the function words in the sentence. A sentence is a collection of words. Okay, that words we are generally categorizing as functional words and content words. So what are all the function words present here in this example? Whichever is given in which color are called as a function words. This is some sentence I have taken as an example.
Ma'am, the red ones would be
Red color.
Red ones are called as
function words.
functional words. Yes. So the generally functional words are preposition, pronouns, auxiliary verbs, conjunctions, grammatic, articles. All these comes under functional words. Next, they are telling functional words are called as also called as closed class words. Why? Can anyone justify why it is called as closed class words? In general, function words in a language are called as closed class words. Why? Why it is called as closed class? Closed means that
Because there's a certain set of words and you cannot go beyond it. Like nouns, there can be many nouns, but these will be only few.
very good.
Like
So
they
these
are closed.
They are closed. Very good. So we cannot have a newer words whether it can be added to this category, specific grammatical category.
No, ma'am.
Like if you are taking articles, whether you can add any new other words can be to be an article, in a specific grammatical category like article. Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No.
ma'am.
So that's why it is called. Why you people are so silent today? What happened? You people will be active, right? Whether you can't able to follow or what is the problem? Simple things only I am explaining, right? Whether you can able to hear me first.
Yes, ma'am.
Why you people are so silent? So why you are not answering? For Tara?
11-day break, ma'am.
7 days break. That results like this. Come out of that. Okay. Morning first 3 classes are over, right? Okay. So we cannot, why it is called as a closed class words are we do not have a newer words cannot be added to this any of the specific grammatical category. So that's why it is called as the closed class words. Next one here, if you take a Tom Sawyer, okay, if you take, let us take a corpus and we'll try to see the distribution of words in the corpus. Okay, so they have taken a Tom Sawyer, a novel written by Mark Twain. Okay, so it is a novel. In this corpus they have Tom Sawyer corpus they have taken, and they are trying to see what is this indicates. Can anyone able to see? This is a Tom Sawyer's novel. Okay, a novel written by Mark Twain, and there are something I have given it in the form of a table representation having 3 columns. One is a word, one is a frequency, and another is a use or the grammatical category. Okay, so we'll try to see the distribution of the words in the corpus. What this from this, what you can able to see, what you can able to make out.
The number of times those particular words.
Very good. That is generally we try to see the distribution of words in the corpus, right? In the Tom Sawyer, what is the corpus we have taken here? That's the data set we have taken here.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer novel. So from that here, this table we will try to analyze, try to see what is the distribution of words given in the corpus. Okay. So they have given the word and the corresponding frequency and this grammatical category. The is occurring. So in the Tom Sawyer corpus, the is a word which is occurring how many times totally in the entire corpus?
3,330.
See, please students, you should be very active. If you are like this, then I will not mind. Simply I will talk and I will leave, that's all. I will not ask like this. Then it will not be an interactive session. So 3,332 words, 32 times the word the is occurring in the corpus, and it is an article and is a conjunction. How many times it is occurring? 2,972. Only I am not telling that only these words are available. I have taken all the words available in my corpus and I have find the frequency and I have written the grammatical category, and I have taken only the top 10 or top 15. I have taken how many I have taken? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Top 15 I have taken only to explain you what is there in the top 15 list. Okay, so finding the words. So first I have taken a corpus and we are trying to see the distribution of words in the corpus. So first we have to, if you want to find the distribution, how the words are distributed in the corpus, we have to take the words each and every word and how many times occurring. Frequency is the number of times the word is occurring and what is the grammatical category. And after that, you have to sort that list. Okay. For each word, you after finding the count and the grammatical category, you have to sort that list in descending order and taking only top 20 words. You can take top 20, top 50 for analysis purpose we are taking. Okay. We have to find out how the distribution of words occur in the corpus. So you are taking arranging in the descending order of the frequency and you are taking only the top 15 or top 20 words and you are finding the grammatical category. So now I have done all this. So can you tell me what is the special about this list? Any speciality is there in this list? So for example, I have some 100 words. In that 100 words, I have taken only the top 20 words which has the highest frequency. I have 100 words with a frequency occurrence. All these are arranged in descending order and I have taken only the top 15 words and I have made a list. What is the special about this list? Can anyone tell me?
Like these words are like
most
significant.
Functional.
Very good. Most of the words in the corpus will be the. So what categories of words are seen here? What is special about the list? That means what categories of words are seen here? What category of word is seen here? Most of the words are called what belong to a functional words. Okay, the and of, to, like this. Okay, so the list is dominated by a little word of English having the important grammatical laws. Okay, so there is only one exceptions in this list. What is that exception I can see in this list? There is only one exception. I can Tom. Okay, that is the word Tom. Why that comes in the top frequency list? Any idea?
The book is
Why?
about.
Because that's the main character.
Very good. That is the main character, or is that the main topic which we are discussing in that corpus. That's why that is coming on the top 10 list. Otherwise, if you see the maximum number of words in the top 20 list are the the words that are the functional words. Okay. So only exception that we can see in this list is the word Tom. That is why, because it is specific to the topic of the text. That's why it comes under the top 15. Otherwise, the remaining all words are the functional words. Okay. So next. So top occurrence of the words are the functional words and some occurrence of the words represents the context of the topic. Okay. In this example, what represents the context of the topic? In this example, in this list, what represents the context of the topic?
Tom.
Tom. Very good. Okay. So this is how. So now why we are talking about all this is how the birds, how many birds are there and how the birds are distributed. We have seen. Next, we will see.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell me.
Ma'am, in this example, that two has two categories here, no, ma'am, like the preposition and verbal infinitive marker. Now, like, is it necessary to give it in the same
No. You can, if you have two different grammatical categories there, no, you can split and give this its corresponding grammatical category.
Okay, so it can be two times two, T or repeated.
That is, yeah. But that a different grammatical category, you can have it. Okay. So this is the list. That's why I have shown you what is the special about the list. The list is dominated by the little words of English having the important grammatical roles. Only there is a special is the Tom, which is occurring only in the top 15 words because that is mainly specific to the topic of the text. Okay. Next one, functional words. They are usually referred to as, these words are referred to as what? Whatever words we have seen in the top 10 list, or we call it as what? What type of words?
Functional words.
Functional words. The same thing what we have discussed, we have seen here. Okay. Then one real exception is the word Tom. Okay, which comes in the top 15 list. Okay. Next one. We will see how many birds are there in the text. So you are taking a corpus. Next, we are finding out how many birds. So we are seeing what is the functional words, what is the content word, and if you take any corpus, most of the corpus, the top of the list will be the functional words. Okay, if you take the words and the count and the grammatical category for the corpus, and if you arrange in a descent, at the end, what we are going to conclude is if you arrange in a descending order, and finally, if you take the top 10% of the words, or top 5% of the words, if you see, most of the words will be the functional words, which will be there in the corpus, and little will be the content words at the top. Okay. Next, we will be seeing what is type versus token. That is, how many words are there present in the corpus or in the text is given by type token ratio. That is type versus token. That is given by the relationship called type token ratio. So what is a type token ratio is gives the relationship between the concept and the particular instance of the concept. Okay, what is type, what is token, we are going to see, and we will be seeing about type token ratio. Three things we are going to learn it here. What is a type? What is called as token in a corpus? How to calculate TTR? TTR is a type token ratio. Okay, so what is type versus token is, it shows the relationship between the concept and the particular instance of that concept. How many times that instance is occurring in the concept. Okay. So here, if you see, type token distinction is a distinction that separates the concept of the object, that is, which are particular instance of the concept. That is, it shows the relationship between the concept and the particular instance of the concept. Okay, so concept here we call it as type. What is the concept here? The concept here we call it as a type, and instance of the concept we call it as a tokens. Okay, so concept we call it as a type, instance of the concept we call it as a tokens. We will see here. Okay, so what is type and token in a concept in a language? So here I think type and token, I didn't give the proper definition. Please make a note of this definition. I have not given a type and token definition here in the slide. Type, if you want to take the definition in a language, if same word occurs multiple times, we call it as dash. In a language, if same word is occurring in a multiple times, we call it as same type or same token. In a language, if a word is same type. In a language, if a same word is occurring multiple times, we call it as same type. All those words will be taken together and we call it as all these words belong to one type. That is type. Okay. And for example, I have will. Okay, I have a sentence called will. Whether I have that example? No. So I have an example, will. So what is the type and what is the token here? What is a type and what is a token here? Type is a concept and the token is the instance of the concept. I told in a language, if same word occurs multiple times, then we call it as same type.
Will is just
but different tokens. Type. But different tokens. So what will be the type here? Type is equal to 1, 2, 3. How many types are here in this example? Will. How many types?
2.
2 types are there. Take an example, will space will. What is
One
type says? One type, how many tokens?
2 tokens.
2 tokens.
One type, 2 tokens.
2 tokens. Yeah, that is what is a type in a language. If same word occurs multiple times, we call it as, we'll take it as same type. So will all belongs to same type. So there is one type 1, that is will. Okay, I have only one type, that is unique. Types are nothing but dash words. Generally we call it as
repeating words, like
unique. That is
concept. The concept.
So if I have 5 types, that means that I have 5 unique words present in there. That can be repeated any number of times. Yes or no? If I have 5 type as 5 for my corpus, how many unique words I have? How many unique words I have?
5, ma'am.
5. But how many tokens I have? For example, each word is occurring 2 times. First word is occurring 2 times. Second word is occurring 3 times. Third word is occurring 4 times. Fourth word is occurring 5 times. And fifth word is occurring 6 times. I have 5 words. Assume that I have 5 different words. Okay. Unique words. Okay. I have type as 5. If I am giving type as 5, that means that 5 unique words are there. But token, I can have 10 tokens. Each word can occur more than 1 time or 1 time also. If it is occurring more than 1 time, token will be counted as how many times? So in this example, will, what is a token?
2.
2. There are same type. Will, if you take this example, they all belong to same type, but 2 different tokens are there. Tokens are nothing but each individual words we call it as tokens. Okay, each individual words we call it as a tokens. Okay. So next one from this type, what is TTR? type token ratio. What is type token ratio? It is the ratio of number of types, that is unique words, divided by the number of tokens in the text, number of words present in the text. It's called as a type token ratio, TTR. So what is TTR? Type divided by token. Why we are learning type and token? To find out how many words are present. Tokens are nothing but the total number of words present in the corpus, and type is nothing but the unique words. Okay, how many unique words I have? In my sentence, there is occurring one type. So type 1. Then next word is it's occurring only one time. Then next type becomes 2 types is there. Like that. Okay. So if I have will send, what will be the type and what will be the token? I have a word will send. Instead of will, I have will send. What will be the type and what will be the token?
2
Two
types.
types, one token
Two
each.
types, 2 tokens.
2 types and 2 tokens. Now can you able to make out what is type token? So from that, why we are learning is how many words are unique words are there and how many total number of words are there. That we are learning as a type token ratio. So what is type token ratio? It is the ratio of number of different words, that is types, divided by number of running words, that is the tokens in a given text or a corpus. We call it as type token ratio. If you want as a formula, they will ask. They will give one sentence. They may ask you to find the type. They may ask you to find the token, and they may ask you to calculate type token ratio. 2 marks they may ask. For identifying type, 1 mark. Token 1 mark. Half mark. And TTR will be 1 mark. So totally it is 2 marks. Half 1. Okay. So what is TTR? It is the ratio of the number of types to the number of tokens in the text. This TTR indicates that on an average, how often a new word appear in the corpus or a text. Okay, so why we are calculating type TTR, why we are calculating after finding type and token is, using this TTR, we can find out on an average how often a new word appear in a corpus or a text. Okay, so after finding the type token ratio, see here, this is an example I have given. So what is the sentence I have given? See here, there has been a lot of fuss on the topic. A solution has been arrived at. Like this one sentence will be given. Please try to find types, find the number of tokens and calculate TTR. Okay, so how to find that? How many types are there? Can anyone tell me? First you tell me tokens. How many tokens are there? Tokens are the total number of words present in the corpus. How many words are there?
16.
16 that we got. Tokens are nothing but each and every word present in the corpus, we call it as tokens. Please, can you all able to understand, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
is type? Types are nothing but the unique words. If the words is repeated, that is counted as type, one type. So first you take word there. Anything in your corpus, and assume that these 2 sentences is your corpus. Is there any word there occurs again? No. So type is 1. So 1 type. Has been repeated anywhere? Has is another token whether it is repeated?
Yes.
Yes. So that should not be counted as twice. Type is 1. Only has type. There is one word, one time occurring. Has is one time occurring. So 2. Been is repeated anywhere? Yes. But whether how many times you have to calculate, you have to count for type. Type means that type. Been is occurring. Any number of times it is occur also, it is taken as only once. So totally tell me how many types are there?
13 types.
13 types. So what will be generally type called as?
Unique word.
Unique words present in the corpus. What will be your tokens called as?
Instances.
Each and every word.
That's why concepts and the instances of the concepts. Okay, that is the type token ratio, the relationship between the concepts and the instances of the concept. Okay, so now this is how you have to find the type and token ratio.
Is a set of words, right?
Set of unique words present in the corpus. This type has this word which is present. Okay, if it is present means one type. Even if it is see, has is a word which is occurring in my corpus here also, and has is a word which is present here also. I cannot count it as twice. That is, tokens is each individual word. Type means has is one type which is present in my corpus. That's all. Even if it is appearing multiple times, I cannot count has as 3 types. All the has belongs are the same type or different type? See, here is also I have a has, here also I have a. So if you have a tokens of similar type, that is counted as one type. Okay. See here, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is how a type token. Why I am telling is now you have to tell me why we are calculating type token ratio. So what is the type token ratio here? 13/16. What is the answer you are getting it? What's the answer you're getting? Some values you'll be getting, right?
0.81.
0.8.
0.81. Okay. So now you have calculated. So from this you have to do some analysis. Simply you are finding the type something, you are finding the token and TTR ratio means no use. Okay. So what from that you have to analyze and now you have to tell me, okay, type if the TTR value is high in the text, what is that represents, and if it is smaller for the given corpus, what it represents. I'll give 2 minutes time, think and tell me. So if the TTR value is high, see here, take this example. I have two different examples. One is a Mark Twain's Tom Sawyer novel written by Mark Twain. Totally I have how many tokens I have in that corpus? Totally how many words I have in that corpus? How many words? Tokens are 71,370 words are present in the individual words are present in my corpus. That's why I call it as tokens. How many unique words in that out of 71,370? How many unique words I have?
8,018.
8,018. That is 8,000 plus words that we call the word type. Okay. So TTR is, that is the number of type divided by the token I get TTR. Another example is they have taken a complete Shakespeare's work and there they have identified that this is the this is the total number of tokens, individual words present in the corpus, and this is the unique words present in that corpus, and they have calculated a TTR. So they have taken two different examples and they have calculated the tokens and types and they have identified the type token ratio. So can you tell me from these two what you can able to infer? The first example and second example. If the type token ratio is high, what it represents? If the type token ratio is small, what it represents?
If TTR is less, then it's more redundancy.
Any one at a time. One, everyone will stop.
Less is the TTR ratio, more are the repeated words.
Very good. It is small, the same. If the TTR is small, we can able to make out that the same words are repeated again and again in the corpus. If the TTR is high in the text, then lot of new words.
There's a variety in the kind of words.
If the TTR is high in the text, then lot of new words are keep on coming. That is, number of type is close to the number of tokens. Good. So simply we cannot calculate and we cannot leave like that. There should be some analysis. Okay. So in which one new same words are repeated more in this example and which one new words will be coming?
Shakespeare has more repeated words as compared to Tom
Sawyer. Okay. So that's why we are calculating this. So this one I told no, will I have taken an example will. So this example will I have type as 1, that is unique words, and tokens are 2, that is number of words which is not unique, that we call it as a unique words. So high TTR means what we have tendency to use new words. Low TTR means same words repeatedly will be used in the again and again in the corpus. That's why I have taken this image and I have for your understanding later when you're reading it. Okay, see, because here it is not there. Simply we have calculated this and the analysis is shown here. Okay, now I will be given an example. Okay, we have to guess. Suppose we are taking 4 different types of media in a language which is used for communicated. Okay, have a guess and tell me which has the highest TTR and which has the lowest TTR. Okay, you take that first 3: academic, prose. Okay, you take academic, conversation. First one is a I am comparing 4 different types of media. One is conversation. What is conversation? I am conversing with you and you will be. What is conversation? Generally. What is
Talk
conversation?
between people.
Two people talk between two people. Okay, I am telling something, you will be responding to the same to my question. Then I will be telling something and I will be giving an answer and you will be telling something. That's right. That is called generally conversation. Take the first three things. Academic prose are nothing but we are taking some scientific articles, books, everything. News. Okay, news articles. Or first three examples you take. And you tell me which has the highest TTR scores and which has the high. Oh, I have given the answer. Which has the highest TTR and which has the lowest TTR. Which has the first highest TTR. Which has the lowest TTR? Tell me. Among these three, which will be having the lowest TTR? Conversation, academic prose, and this one.
Conversation will have the lowest one.
Conversation, you have the
Lowest TTR.
lowest TTR. Why? Can you tell me? Good.
Ma'am, because when we are conversing, it's in one context, ma'am. It will be very limited.
That's why repeated same words will be repeated again, and I will be telling something. You will be taking the same words and you will be telling in some other way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because whenever you are conversing, we will take the same words and try to converse. Yes or no? So the conversation has the lowest TTR, and the second lowest will be what? And which is the highest TTR?
Ma'am, news or academic prose?
Among these two, I am asking.
News, ma'am. I think news.
News is the highest TTR. Why?
Different variety of words.
Different varieties of new words will be used in the news articles. In academic prose, it is the second lowest TTR because when compared to the conversation, it is not very bad like conversation or not very good like very new words like news. We'll be having the mix of those. Okay, so this I have given an example to understand how to identify high TTR and lower TTR. Okay, so all these explanations only is here. Okay. Okay, word distribution, can we see tomorrow? From here, we will stop it here. So today's class, we have learned what is functional words, what is content words. And in a corpus, you are identifying all the words and the distribution with the grammatical category, arranging in descending order and finding out what is the special about that list. Taking the top 5% of the words and finding out what is the speciality in that words. When you find the speciality, most of the words are the function words and little words are the little bit of percentage of words in the top 10 list or top 5 list will be the content words. Okay, then we have seen because how many words are present in the corpus, that if you want to find out, we are learning for that. We are learning a relation called as the type token ratio. So that shows the relationship between the concept and the instance of the concept. Types are nothing but the concept and tokens are nothing but the instance of the concept. Okay, so what then we will be we are finding the type, we are finding the tokens, and we are calculating the type token ratio. After calculating the type token ratio, we are analyzing something out of it. Okay, if that is high, what is that indicates whether we are getting a same words repeated or new words will be coming here. If it is low, what it indicates. Okay, then we have taken some media and find out which is the highest and which is the lowest. For your understanding, I have given that example. Okay, so next class we will be learning about the laws, generally the empirical laws. Before going for the laws, we have learned all these two concepts today. Okay, is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can I want one more help tomorrow? Any hour you have